there by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And with an humble mood, he just gives them thanks to Rupa Goswami sir. And Rupa Goswami feels very bad about it. He says, you are living in Vrindavan, how can you defeat a person? He chastises him. We know that fast. So here Maharaj said, if you are in Vrindavan, the Vrindavan consciousness is not to defeat anyone. Nobody can harm you except your mind. Don't criticize and find fault with others. Instead, focus on your own shortcomings. There are many. Maturity in Krishna consciousness is known only in provocating situations. Like this, there are many obstacles a devotee has to face while advancing on the path of bhakti. And I think that all of us to meditate upon and try to apply in our own sadhana. And I am sure Maharaj will be pleased as he is taking so much pain for us to make our spiritual life perfect. Today, let me honestly confess that I am an attached householder, sense enjoyer, run after material acquisition, in spite of hearing so many instructions and warnings. Hence, I request all the Vaishnavas to kindly pray for me so that I am able to shut down the enjoying spirit, develop service attitude, and adopt the mode of servant of servant. Maharaj, your insignificant servant, great influence.
थोड़ा टेक्निकल इशू चल रहा है हम सेटअप रोज यूट्यूब लाइव हो रहा है यूट्यूब लाइव कर दो थोड़ा निकालो ना मोबाइल थोड़ा ये मोबाइल निकालो हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम यूट्यूब पे ये लोग आगे कर रहे हैं कल ट्राई कर उनका कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है बार बार प्रभु हरि बोल यूट्यूब लाइव कर दिया ब्रो जी अच्छा चलो सर हाँ समझ गया मैं सर
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
कैमरा कौन सा उल्टा हो रहा है कुछ सब उल्टा है कुछ चल रहा है नहीं तुम बंद है
YouTube में उल्टा आ रहा है पिक्चर इज कमिंग अपसाइड डाउन इन YouTube
इसका कैमरा वही
पूछो ब्रो जी
नहीं उन्होंने कर रहे हैं
उल्टा आ रहा है ये ओपन YouTube में
हैंडल ऐसा
हैंडल को ऐसा करो
नहीं होता मोबाइल में
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा ददाम्यहं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
दिखाइए
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
क्लैरिटी नहीं आ रहा है
नेट का
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I don't have personally contact with Maharaj, but I went to Yatras many and I saw I read the books. The only inspiring at me that there's sadhu means he has qualities. Without qualities there is not a meaning of the sadhu. I saw Maharaj personally that I am very much inspired that the qualities of the sadhu is not only um, telling that the qualities of the sadhu, personally he sets the example that how to practice that quality of the sadhu. The first time when I am not in ISKCON that time, actually I am in congregation devotee that 2004 or 2003, I don't much remember. I went to Jagannath Puri Yatra, Maharaj is there. And I just like that I went actually. So some devotees are there, they are dancing, very nice anything actually. So that time Maharaj, along with Maharaj also I went the Buddhist temple. And the pujaris, they are not allowed inside Maharaj. I didn't thought why a sadhu, why they are not allowed me. They are allowed others. But I thought, no, he is such a saintly person and he is such a devotion. Why he is not allowed? Then I asked him that because I don't have anybody devotees, I don't know much. Then he told the Westerners are not allowed. I told what is that Westerners? He is a devotee of Krishna. Why you are not allowing it? I told, but he told no, Westerners are not allowed. This is a order. Then I didn't argue because I don't know anything much about that. So then after that, Maharaj, that date is Jagannath Radha, Baladev Subhadra date is outside. So Maharaj is, next day morning, Maharaj is chanting and I also started chanting. So that is the first time, that time there is not much devotees, only hardly 500 inspiring me that Maharaj's qualities that after hearing from Maharaj, to understand Krishna, we have to understand the heart of the Krishna. To understand the sadhu, we have to understand that person, the heart of the sadhu. It is not that we are hearing, but we are not applying that the qualities, then how it is called as sadhu actually. The sadhu means in Bhagavad Gita also, in various ways, in all the chapters, Krishna is telling only that sadhu means is a quality. So Maharaj many times is told every lecture that I am adding Trinadapi Sunechana, Trinadapi Sunechana. But when come to the practical, it is very difficult. Very difficult. It is not that Maharaj has come to contact with the Srila Prabhupada, he developed qualities. From childhood, he has the qualities. From 19 years, he left home and is searching the God and is searching the saintly person. He went to meet many saintly persons. So he has qualities before that contact with the pure devotee. So suddenly he is not can develop the qualities. I saw many devotees, 20-30 years practicing, still they are criticizing the devotees, fault finding the devotees, blaspheming the devotees. So that is even not much, but just by hearing one can develop qualities. It is before that one can have a saintly qualities in the heart. Without saintly qualities, the qualities you cannot develop actually. So Maharaj from childhood he have qualities. Before many persons maybe he is practicing Krishna consciousness. That's what I have said. What a wonderful qualities is. So he emphasizing again and again, Trinadapi Sunechana, be humble. But I'm in a moment I'm just saying that devotees they are not understanding. Means I'm not seeing any faults in other. But that's what understanding a sadhu means. Understanding spiritual master means understand the heart of a sadhu. He painted everything what the spiritual master pleases. So this is means very difficult, and I told actually to come to practical steps to apply these teachings is very difficult because the false ego morning we are also producing classes. The false ego crosses in our heart actually. To become a famous, to become a leader, to become a position, we fight each other, blaspheming each other actually. This is very painful when the spiritual master says this is going on. This is how the qualities of the sadhu by means not only just by hearing and we have to apply, we have to see the others how what is spiritual master will pleases if by me criticizing my God with you criticizing other devotees. So now one of the lecture Maharaj is telling in the Vyasa Puja lecture actually, we should cooperate each other. That is why Prabhupada want. Cooperation is Prabhupada told no, I should build such a house everybody can stay there. But what we are doing in that house, we are making apartments. We have apartments and we are making groupism. We are making up this groupism, that groupism. Then what type of how the people can stay? Proper door that is actually the house is such a but we are just making apartments in that building and we are quarreling each other. So this is how I'm seeing the Maharaj is such a is humble and his simplicity and he is teaching that personally that everybody should like that lecture. So that is I am inspiring, I am practicing that. Still I am lacking that qualities. It is very I am neophyte and very insignificant. I don't have any devotion. But by seeing that Maharaj's qualities actually that is one drop of quality I can apply so that I can go back to God. So this is how I am request. Please bless me all of you. Just thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your wonderful offering. This really inspires to each one of us. Now, this time we request is this Vedanta Jajan Prabhu kindly read his offering and that will be inspiring to all of us.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you are audible.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं तमं मंगायते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणः Hare Krishna, my most humble obeisances at the Lotus feet of His Holiness Raghunath Swami Maharaj, and my humble obeisances at the Lotus feet of all the other devotees, all Maharaj disciples, aspiring disciples, well-wishers. It's a very auspicious day. We are celebrating the appearance day of His Holiness Raghunath Swami Maharaj. When I think of Maharaj, few things that come to my consciousness. One is one prominent thing that came this year was that how Maharaj is shouldering the responsibility of caring for so many thousands of devotees. It's very difficult to shoulder the responsibility of maintaining one devotee. How Maharaj is maintaining so many devotees, all levels of devotees, from brand new devotee to very advanced devotees. And it's not just his disciples, but it also he maintains many of his god brothers. He gives inspiration to many devotees who are disciples of his god brothers, who have not yet been initiated but aspiring to be devotees. So many people, how he is able to give shelter to so many people. I was only wondering how is it possible. Then the only answer that was coming to me was that Maharaj is not thinking that he is actually giving shelter to anyone. He is taking shelter of Krishna. And because he is taking shelter of Krishna, anyone who is approaching him for Krishna's shelter, he is sharing the Krishna shelter to everyone. And because of the simplicity of heart, he is able to inspire so many people. So this was my prominent meditation this year about Maharaj. Because I was thinking at such a young age, not only His Holiness Maharaj, but many of the Maharajas in our movement, they all joined at a very young age. Of course, some of us also have joined at a very young age, but we never took responsibilities like the way that these Western devotees have taken responsibilities in the beginning of this movement. Every one of them were about in the late, early 20s or late 20s at best, all of them. And then Prabhupada did not stay with them for a long time as such. And some of them did not even get an opportunity to be personally trained by Prabhupada also. There were some stalwart leaders, they were trained by Prabhupada, and then other leaders, other devotees were trained by those leaders, or they were associates of those leaders. Like His Holiness Raghunath Maharaj. Raghunath Maharaj had, I'm sure, he might have not got so many interactions with Prabhupada, but whatever interaction he had captured those interactions in his heart. And to a large extent, he served his authority, Kirtananda Maharaj. So in this way, at a very young age, they have accepted so many responsibilities, which is unthinkable for people like us. And they have actually maintained to maintain this movement in such a broad manner with that they have accepted responsibility at such a very young age and inspired so many wonderful devotees. And whenever I personally look at Maharaj, I feel so inspired by his. He oozes, love from his heart. Anyone who looks at him, anyone whom he deals with, they can feel the loving touch. Maharaj has such loving touch. And he's very far from the criticizing mentality. Vrindavan is one of the names to the Sangha of Dhyan, as it is mentioned by the Guru Swami. The symptom of a very, very advanced devotee that he is Vrindavan is to be. He's freed from the fault finding tendency. So, looking at these beautiful qualities of such great souls gives us a hope that the path that we have adopted as mercifully given by Prabhupada, that one day it's possible to come to the standard of devotion. So if we are carefully guided by the great devotees and if we appreciate such great devotees like Maharaj and many other great devotees, it is possible that one day we will be able to function on the platform. Not necessarily that we may be able to give shelter to thousands of people, but at least we can internally be peaceful and probably share our good fortune with one or two people that may come near to us. So that is my meditation. And in fact, I'm a very small person. What do I know much about His Holiness? Radhanath Maharaj is an ocean of wonderful qualities, and he has such celebrated disciples. Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu, and many wonderful devotees are there, his disciples. Bhakti Samanta Maharaj, there many other disciples are also there. All these devotees, I feel very insignificant in front of all of them. I feel so happy that these devotees are carrying the mission of Srila Prabhupada and His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. I pray that the mission that is carried out by these devotees would be fulfilled and to the satisfaction of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, to the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada, and ultimately to the satisfaction of Krishna, that they should all be empowered and inspire hundreds and thousands of people and gain so much yasha, gain so much glory for the Guru Parampara. So that is my hearty wish. And not only for these few devotees whom I mentioned, but all of Maharaj's disciples, all of Maharaj's disciples, or anyone who is looking up to Maharaj is a very fortunate soul, because they have such a tall example that is there in front of all of us to look at and emulate the qualities of Maharaj. So all of us have those opportunities to be of some service to this world by exemplifying the qualities that we see, inspirational qualities that we see in these great souls. So last year also I asked forgiveness from the devotees. This year also I would like to heartily ask for forgiveness that because of me anyone is offended, anyone is troubled, anyone is hurt because of either my speech or actions or my thought process or mentality towards any of you. Kindly forgive me with a big heart. I really want to be a devotee, and I hope you will give me an opportunity to become a devotee by your loving embrace and by your loving disposition of heart. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhajan Chandra, for wonderfully glorifying the wonderful qualities of Maharaj, and you're setting an example for all of us how to glorify a pure devotee, how to glorify a spiritual master. Thank you very much for inspiring all of us. Now at this time we would like to hear from His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Shri Guru Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Virushi Shakshi Navari Paschat Vishitare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Sadhguru Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Uh, I would like to express my gratitude to the management of Hyderabad Temple for giving me this opportunity today to share a few thoughts on this very auspicious. Hare Krishna. As if you remember, I had the good opportunity to, good fortune actually, and the opportunity to be there last year or before last. I'm not able to recall it. But when the cutout was being brought of Maharaj, I was wondering how come they're bringing that's such a amazing, very realistic kind of, so uh, beautiful it was. So thank you for giving me this opportunity again to speak a few words. I was happy that I joined before Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu spoke. Really, Prabhuji, I know since many years. I'm very happy that myself and Samanand Prabhu had come and met him, and he was so gracious and so showed us so wonderfully, and I'm happy to see him today. So basically, today I thought I will share a small. Is there? I can share the PPT.
Yes, bro, we can say.
Yeah. One second, just. How do I make it? Is this visible, Rohit?
Yes, bro, it's coming.
Okay. I think I should make it full screen. How do I make it full screen? Anyway, you're able to see as well. So, what I wanted to share today is in the last few years, like 2-3 years, the strategic planning team of GBC has come out with a devotee care manual. So when I first attended that presentation, they asked for some commitment, and I said, at least once, I would love to travel to any place and share this devotee care manual with this whole society, because I had the good fortune of basking in the sunlight of devotee care under the presence of His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj. And so I thought if I can share even some of it, and if it inspires someone and people feel sheltered, as pointed out by Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu, that shelter is so important and it will be worth it. So I was traveling, and when I saw that one particular section in that devotee care manual speaks about embedding devotee care in a community. So when I read so many kind of 12 points are there, this is how leaders embed care in the community, spiritual community. So there were 12, but today I would like to just share few of them. When I read that, I could immediately relate and connect because I had seen Zonesradana Swami Maharaj doing that, and I was able to appreciate why devotees feel cared for, because certain foundational principle that was mentioned in those manual was seen in those in the incidents that I'm going to kind of share. So, yeah. So, under that section, because there are two aspects, it mentions there is a virtue of care and there is systems of care. So, virtues are something the leadership should possess, and systems are something which they should establish. And just like Srila Prabhupada had the virtue of care, while sitting in Vrindavan, he was concerned for the sufferings of individuals all over. And he established, as a system, he established ISKCON so that even after his departure, his books and his organization could give shelter. So care as a virtue and care as a function. So under that virtue part, there were some things. Like for example, one way of showing care is that which leaders pay attention to, measure and evaluate on a regular basis. So what do the leaders pay attention to? What do the leaders measure and evaluate on a regular basis? That shows what they value in the core of their heart. So I remember whenever Maharaj would go to America and return after a few months, and some of us would go to receive him at the airport. And being the member of the Temple Presidential Board, I had the privilege of sleeping into the back seat of the car while driving back from the airport, which was like a 35 to 40 minutes drive. And I have done it several times. And you can even predict it. As soon as he will come, devotees will offer garland, everything, and he will offer it back after some time to so many of the devotees. Then he will come and sit in the car, then all of us come and sit behind. And then as soon as the car would leave the airport and move towards the temple, after a few seconds, you could even predict it. He would turn around and look at all the people who are behind. Generally, 3 to 4 of us would be, like packed inside. He would look, just acknowledge and smile, his typical broad smile, and then the first question he would ask invariably is everyone happy? He never asked any of them. First of all, he would ask, is everyone there? Especially in the early 90s. Every time he would come, you would know that some fellow has run away, some brahmachari has left. So the first thing he would ask, is everyone there? And is everyone happy? Then he would come and meet the orphanage children, LNHO, which about 55 boys were there. As soon as he would get down and when he would enter that orphanage, all the kids would be standing in a line and he would just, pat their head, beat a little with his bead bag, he would touch their heads and ruffle their hairs, and he would ask. They didn't know much of English, so he would ask, "Are you happy?" So this was the first thing. We knew he would never ask, "Kitna collection hua? What is the collection? How many books distributed?" The first thing he would ask, "Is everyone happy?" And so therefore, before his arrival, I would interact with the boys and the devotees to make sure, are you guys happy or not? Please tell me, Baba. So that, I can say that yes, Maharaj, everyone is happy. So this is something that I remember. Secondly, one of the items there in the manual it says how leaders react to critical incidents and organizational crises. This is this actually shows what is their priority. Do they actually care? So I remember in I think 2011, I think Maharaj was in America, and there was a plane crash at near Kathmandu in Nepal, where 8 of our congregation members, one whole family, husband, wife, and very, very senior people, one of our brahmacharis, 2 other brothers from the congregation, like that, 8 members died on the spot in the plane crash when they were going to Muktinath. So somehow we came to know, and from the airport, can you imagine 8 big boxes were brought in the ambulance, one above the other. There are two, like that, 4 of us in a huge, like a mini truck, and was placed in the courtyard because it was so mangled, the body was so mangled, it was never opened. The box was kept there, not even the face. Even the relatives could not come and see the face, it was so mangled. It was such a devastation for the whole congregation. It was such a devastation. And all the, congregation had come and like, how it happened, why, how could it happen, and this and that. And when Maharaj came to know in America, even though he himself was sick, even though he had a very busy schedule, other schedules, which was fixed up, but he canceled that, he came all the way flying 19 hours. And for 3 to next few days, not many days, he stayed for a few days only because he had other very important international conferences and other things. But he came, he met personally all the family members of the affected people who had left their body. Then he would meet all the congregation members. We arranged for a program, kind of a Shok Sabha, where whole congregation came and he addressed and helped us see how to understand this, how to accept this, and how to deal with this kind of a situation. And for next 2-3 days he was available. Anyone could come and meet him, talk to him, especially the relatives, friends, and family members could come, and hours he would spend and pacified them, and only then he left. That was very heart-touching. Another thing was when Bhakti Maharaj, it was announced that practically he was about to leave, and Maharaj went and met him at the pink. Maharaj's disciples had gathered there, and as Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu rightly pointed out, his physical presence was so soothing and comforting to his disciples, Bhakti Maharaj's disciples. Practically looked up to him as his, Shiksha Guru. He was there with them, telling them how to see this. And Bhakti Maharaj requested him, said, till I depart, you should be here only, you should not leave me. So for next approximately 8 to 9 weeks, Maharaj stayed there. He cancelled all his other responsibilities, appointments that he had as a BBC. And he stayed there. And those interactions, when you would get the videos and the interactions of whatever, message you would get, it spoke for itself. Rather than hours of lectures, there's one gesture of being with his godbrothers in times of, in such situations, and connecting to his disciples who are really, you can imagine, your Guru Maharaj is about to pass passed away, dwindling, the body is dwindling because of this cancer. What kind of situation they must be going through, and addressing them, interacting with them, spending hours with them. All of them felt so much relieved and felt very much strength at that particular time. I also remember when His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj at Bombay, when he fell sick, suddenly it was such a shock, and there were practically no chances, the surgeon said, of him reviving. At least the neurologist, the top hospital, the topmost neurologist of India actually, was seeing that case. And he came out. Of course, nobody was allowed. Nobody other than his personal servants. No godbrother, no one was ever allowed. Because it was very serious. And the doctor clearly said, 99.9 said, no chance. It's only a miracle if he survives. And nobody can enter. So we were about to leave for Karti Yatra in next few days. And such a big crisis for the society. And we were all devastated actually. Eventually, it was decided that we will go to Vrindavan for the Kartik Yatra. And we went there. And in the very first lecture, where 5,000 or 6,000 people gathered in that pandal, huge pandal in Vrindavan, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj specifically began by saying, some of you may be wondering, how could so many of us come here for this Kartik Yatra when one of our senior most of Srila Prabhupada disciples and leaders, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, is fighting practically, for life in Mumbai. And he was telling that I was in a dilemma, that how should we go for this Kartik Yatra? But then he said, none of us were allowed even to go inside his room. The only thing we could do for him was to pray for him. Pray to Krishna. And therefore, Maharaj said, we decided that if 5,000 of us in this holy month of Kartik, in the holy place of Vrindavan, pray for this holy person, Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, I think this could be the best service we could do. And right at the feet of Srila Prabhupada, on the big Prabhupada, the Vyasasana we had made, right at the feet of Srila Prabhupada, a very beautiful picture of Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was placed throughout the Kartik Yatra, because morning you would go for Yatra, evenings was the program there. And every day's Damodar Ashtakam prayer and the last Kirtan was specifically offered to Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. So this interaction was so heart-wrenching for us about such sweet, loving relationships amongst the God brothers, amongst these leaders. And the best part, which was like an icing on the cake, was after the Kartik Yatra we came back, and in January, about 2,000, 2,500 of us, we went to Pune. We used to have this annual Shravanam kind of Kirtan Yatra at Pune. And even though Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was very, very sick at that time, and the doctors had told him not to move, but when Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj came to know that so many thousands of devotees had prayed for him at Vrindavan, he traveled in a against the recommendation of the doctor. He traveled for 4.5 hours from Mumbai to Pune to come and meet us. Even though he had these big goggles at that time, he could hardly speak. There was a translator who translated every word because it was so difficult, nobody could understand. The very, very beginning stage of his recovery. And the first thing he said, he said, I had to come to thank all of you for praying for me at Vrindavan during the month of Kartik. And I'm so grateful to Radha Maharaj. Now, this interaction was truly for me. This is a practical application of how leaders react to critical incidents and organizational crises. Real kind of touch. No, we didn't need to hear lectures on how leaders should respond to these things. It was so spontaneously evident. Another thing it says, observed criteria, not spoken criteria, observed criteria by which leaders allocate resources, especially when scarce. When you have very less money and there are so many options, where do you invest that money shows what your priority is, without even speaking a word. So I would like to share basically two things. There are many things, but I would like to share only two. Raghunath Swami Maharaj is very particular that the best sound system should be in place whenever these lectures go on. Because the foundation of our movement is Shravanam and Kirtan. It's all about Shravanam. Without Shravanam, who's Kirtan? Who's Padasevanam will do? So emphasize, I remember, as I think I told it last time also, the sound system was bad and the wires were all messed up, mixed up, tangled up. So Maharaj got hold of the ear of that. Right way back in 1991, he established a sound system department and he put one person in charge. 10 people cannot manipulate the sound system. Only one person, and that too, who knows the system well, should be using it. And even little sound here and there, he would stare at that person as if like Muchukunda. So the people were so scared. The sound system has to be first class and no sound should come in between the noise. So he picked up the wire and he told the sound system guy, he said, do you know what this? And that fellow was confused. He said, these are wires. What do you? He said, no, this is the artery and the veins of Harinam Prabhu. So he saw sound system, like in the spiritual world, everyone is a person. The sound system is the Harinam Prabhu personified. And these are like the veins of this Harinam Prabhu. So that is something, And another place which was very obvious was in the Kartik Yatra, because he says that I'm not able to meet all my disciples, interact personally, but I put all my energy in these Kartik Yatras so that you people can come and my personal instruction is when I speak to this group in those Yatras. So there he said, when he came to know that many of the counselors are not able to come because they can't afford, because it is very costly. So, but they are very sincere people. So immediately Maharaj said, whatever ladies ask me, I will sponsor. Make sure that if they are sincere and if they are recommended by the counselor that they want to come, but only because for financing they are not able to come, because of their family or something. He said, as soon as devotees came to know, the leaders came to know that Maharaj is so particular that devotees attend, so immediately each one came forward to sponsor it. So even though the amount was scarce, but he said, no, this is very important that, because this is their lifeline, this is their nourishment, this is their inspiration that they get, so they should be there. is something that I thought I'd share. And just two more I'll share before I end. Observe criteria by which leaders recruit, select, promote, retire, and exclude members. This is how you are showing what is important for you. So one thing that I can say, in the earlier days, 89, 90, we were very casual. We would go for Harinam to Chowpatty beach, and anyone who would join us, we would bring them and they would become brahmacharis in the ashram. Sometimes they were riffraff guys who would come just because they get khichdi free. And we would bring the Namo Mahavadanyaya mood, we would just enroll them and they would become brahmacharis. Of course, we will not give them saffron, but they would be in the temple and nobody knew who they are. And sometimes they would steal big money and go. One brahmachari ran away with 17,000. One fellow ran away with our big first computer, tabletop computer. One fellow was having some affair with congregation girl. So Maharaj was very clear. He said, don't think I am not compassionate, but you should have a criteria before you take them. You can keep them in the temple, but you have to have criteria before who you take inside. He said, if the brahmacharis are weak, no problem. Like their senses are not able to, they are not able to control. That's all right. If they are lazy, that's all right. But if they are political, if they are kind of groupism, if they are creative, they should immediately be thrown out. He said, don't think I am not merciful or I am not compassionate, but we cannot allow that. And in the last 31 years of my stay in the ashram, I can tell you, only one person, and that we didn't throw him.